It's so funny. I just texted my wife, and I'm like, you know what? We're supposed to cook some stinky-ass tilapia today.
Uh-huh.
Fuck it. We're going to Mellow Mushroom. I just called
I do that a lot.
Sometimes you got to do a fuck it.
Yeah.
And I love eating clean, and I've been trying to make myself healthier. And I don't feel that bad when I go to Mellow Mushroom because I can get, gluten-free crust.
Yeah.
I can get the fresh toppings, the vegetable. Look, I'm going to get a gluten-free crazy vegetable pizza, but at least I'm not having to eat stinky-ass tilapia.
The last couple times I went to Mellow Mushroom, I ordered the chef salad. And
Dude, their salads are unbelievable.
Dude, if you order, and I'm talking about like they have the little chef salad.
No, you get the big one is 3 meals.
Dude, the little one is
massive.
They use such high quality ingredients that they're
fresh cut veggies.
Everything
it's awesome.
I'm telling you, go to Mellow Mushroom. Their ingredients are just superior. Like
there's some salami in that salad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't give me get some salami salad.
It's craft pizza. It's craft beer.
Full liquor bar. I mean, so for those of you that are like, I don't like beer, hey, we got you covered, man.
3 locations, one there on I-Drive, our Mellow Mushroom right here in Winter Park, and then there's the Mellow Mushroom over by UCF.
Yep, that's the biggest one. They do a lot of events there, whether it's video game and trivia, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, man, can't love them enough. It's Mellow Mushroom, 3 locations. Go there. Tell them Tom and Dan sent you.
She's going to be out at the Improv, 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow. 1 on Sunday.
Yes, sir, the 221, as we call it.
I always like it when we have a comedian in for the first time, just because I like meeting new comedians.
We do
on
indeed.
The scene. And Tacarra Williams is in studio with us. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
So first question. How?
Jump right into it, right?
Like,
how you doing? Great.
Yeah.
So, whatever. First question.
So about the scandal, Tacarra.
Hard-hitting question.
What would you say? There are many people that say that you have done these hard... What would you say to these people? It's going to be one of those.
I did do those horrible. No, okay.
When we do our research...
You can't be any more... I mean, we're the most horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
You're good.
We go and we look about your life, and we go through the whole thing, and we read some interviews.
Yeah, we came from radio where you don't do any prep,
Yeah.
So you have the comedian come in, and then you just kind of let her talk, and then you make her burn bits, and then she burns her bits, and then you kick her out. But no, we're actually trying to change things and do some we do some investigating, find out what you're about.
Boy.
Imagine that, right? Do our job.
Imagine you guys doing that.
The first thing that stuck out is that you were born in Belize, and I found that super interesting.
I do too,
because I've always wanted to go to Belize. I've had lots of friends that have gone there. Beautiful,
and it's kind of glossed over in all the interviews I watch. It's like born in Belize, raised in Bronx. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm like born in Belize, raised in Bronx, and then I'm like, well, can we go back to Belize for just a second?
Yeah.
Because that's cool.
It is cool.
So what?
I don't even know that much about Belize.
Yeah, behind did your parents live there? Or?
My parents lived there, and then when I was really young, they came to New York.
And everybody in Belize, they speak English, right?
Yeah. Which is people kill me with that. They were like, talk to me in Belize. And I'm like, I am.
Yeah, it's English.
It's a native, we speak English.
Yeah.
And maybe with an accent, but, it's English, man.
So were they native? They were born there too?
My parents, yeah.
Okay.
That's
and
cool.
What made them go to New York?
My grandparents were in New York. My granddad, my grandma was in New York, and they moved to New York. It's a weird story. We lived in Harlem on 128th and Lenox in a 1-bedroom, 6-floor walk-up, 2 adults, 8 children.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And you're the third
oldest of 8,
right?
and a twin.
And you have a
twin sister, yeah.
A twin sister.
Yeah.
Identical twins?
Fraternal.
Okay, my dad was mirror image, identical.
Yeah?
So he was identical plus mirror image. So
Yeah.
my dad parted his hair on the left, Uncle Doug parts it on the right.
Hilarious.
So when they looked at each other, it was all fucked up.
Yeah.
Because moles and everything
That would bother me. I would ask them to
reversed.
stop.
Yeah, it was weird.
Stop it.
And only one of my dad died, and Uncle Doug's still alive. So I look at him, I resent him every day. You should have been you.
Jesus.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Freak out, bro.
Well, that took a turn.
I look him right in his eyes. I say, should have been you, man.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, it was.
He doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, we lived in a 3rd floor, 6-floor walk up, 10 people, a 1-bedroom apartment.
God.
8 kids. My parents did not watch TV, so it was like 8 kids, 2 adults. It was a trip.
So when you have that many people in a one-bedroom apartment, I imagine
it's a party.
It's
moving and grooving.
You probably want to get out of the apartment and roam free, right?
Well, what happened was at the time there was Mayor David Dinkins.
Okay.
And somebody wrote to Mayor David Dinkins and said, we have this huge family living in this 6th floor walk up, and we need to do something about it. And maybe like a week later, they showed up to our house with the news, and it was a big thing. And then 2 weeks later, we were living in the South Bronx in a projects apartment, 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, living room, dining room, den, and a projects. And my parents didn't know what a project was. So they were like, yeah, let's do it. The projects, space. And then like a month later, somebody's knocking on our door and he's been shot 3 times. So we just,
holy shit.
Fuck yeah.
Did your parents not know because in Belize, like they just had no reference?
Yeah, but the project just looks nice. Like if you never lived in a project before and you walk by, you're like, oh, this is pretty. This is like a little community.
It's a building.
And then you get in and you come in from a 1-bedroom, 6th floor walk up to a first floor apartment, 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. You're like, okay, we're winning. And then it was different.
You know what? I've lived in bad neighborhoods, and it always looks better during the day. I feel like you should always you should look at night.
That's what people do now. If you're going to move into a neighborhood, you have to drive through the neighborhood at nighttime because that's when you get to see what the real life is like. But
even your place in Harriman Alley, like during the day, not bad.
Yeah.
But then, you even told me, he's like, you might want to get out of here. It's like when the sun's going down, like, get in your car, time to leave. Vampires.
When I lived in a Holden OBT, like during the day, I was like, it's fine. People are riding their bikes.
It's good. Sun shines out.
And then at night, you're like, uh-oh.
Shit's happening.
Going down.
I don't even know what, but shit is definitely happening over here.
It's going down
I can
now.
smell it.
I don't know why.
I can smell this shit happening.
So with such a big family and so many siblings, what was your trajectory? Like, obviously, I'm sure stand-up comedy wasn't on the radar
at all.
Yeah.
No, I used to teach. And growing up, I always wanted to be a teacher, and I accomplished that. And then I just went through a really bad breakup, and I was like, like most women, I got to find myself. And I went to find myself, and I went to an audition, and I was like, I really want this part, and they were like, no, but you're funny. You should be doing stand up. And I was like, no, and they were like, you should try it. So they set up a place for me the same day. I went that night. All the producers that were there earlier were there.
Oh, shit.
I was supposed to do 3 minutes. He left me on stage for about 8. I did really, really great, and that was it.
Wow,
that's a great story.
That was it.
8 minutes.
That's a long
for
time.
your first time.
3 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
And I just talked about a bad breakup. I was like, because when you break up with somebody, there's all the things you say you're going to do. I'm going to go this. I'm going to get dressed up. I'm going to go with my friends, and I'm going to have a good time. And then when you actually have the breakup, you're just like, I want to cry all day. I just talked about the breakup and how difficult it was and stuff like that. And women took to it. And at the end of the show, all the women came up to me. Oh my God, I loved you. That was so relatable. You helped me. I'm going through a breakup too. And that was it. I was stuck. 10 years in.
And then you just started hitting.
10 years in now?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I was everywhere. I mean, I couldn't get enough of stand up. I was doing 3 shows a night in New York. You can do that.
Yeah.
And then, and then within 2 years, I was huge in New York. I was all over the tri-state area in 2 years. And I just said, I want more. And I moved to LA.
Wow. And now I know you have 3 kids, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And you had your kids pretty young.
I did.
And that must have been rough as far as I know how much of a hustle it is, putting in the time, putting in the work to become a good stand-up, getting the reps.
Yeah.
And that must have been,
also to be
extremely
a mom.
hard.
Yeah. My oldest is 18, so I have 18. Chase is 18. Casey's 14. That's the one I want to fight. The 14-year-old girl. God damn it. Her. And then the baby's 5. That's Chris.
Okay.
And it is difficult. I was married, and then I got divorced, and it's one of those things you just don't think about. I have so many parents. So many parents that follow me, women and men that follow me, and they have these dreams that they want to pursue, but they use children as an excuse as to why they can't. I can't do this because I have my kids. And even you It doesn't stop.
Yeah, I know. By the way, for those you don't know, my son Max is in the lobby right now.
Right.
He's running shit in there.
Right. It's just one of those things where everybody's always like, well, how do you do it? And I want to open up my own salon, or I want to go back to school, and I can't because of my kids, because I'm a mom. And I'm just like, stop thinking so hard and just do it. One day at a time, 1 foot. I don't even know what's happening next week. My road manager's here, and he has to be like, oh yeah, we're doing Denver next week. I'm like, oh shit, Denver's next week, huh? I don't think about it. I'm just trying to get in front of day by day. That's all I got when everybody asks me. Just
grind it out
every
day by day.
Yes, that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, that's good for you. It's like, I mean, that's it. Just knowing how hard. I mean, 2 kids are.
Well, that's just strength. You know, like I feel like, especially at the ages and having them young. You know, because I feel like that does matter.
It does matter.
I had my daughter. What was I? 39.
Yeah.
I'm an old dad. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was easier for me. I think it was because I was a little more established.
Right. I was not. I was barely out of high school.
Right. And that's, to me, that's like hats off, man. I'm like, oh my God. And look, and it sounds like everybody. Number one, they're all still alive.
Right. Yeah. So far.
For now.
The 18-year-old, we came close once. It was me and him, and we got real close.
And you talking with the girl about the bra?
Jesus
that's the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I got a girl. He's got 2 boys. She has this. I'm not gonna blow it because you might hear it. But she's talking. My God,
How
I'm just
old is
like.
she?
She's 4, but she's going on like 24.
My daughter's 5. She asked me for a bra.
Really?
5. Yeah, she goes, Can I have one of those things that you wear under your shirts? And I was like, what things that you wear under your shirts? Well, the little things that you wear. You get one, Casey gets one, or my friend she has one too. I want one. I was like, a bra? Yeah, I want one of those. Yeah. That's how her voice changed. Yeah, I want one of those. I was like, why do you want a
Why'd
bra?
You drop it down?
Yeah, why do you want a bra? Because they're cool. I was like, you don't have any boobs.
Yeah, Maisie called. That's my daughter.
I need one.
Yeah, they want that. They want to grow up so fast.
I just bought her a little sports one, the little ones. I just bought her a tiny one. You gotta, if you get her one, she's walking around the house. It's underneath her shirt, but she knows she's got it on.
Yeah,
She's just walking a little different around the house. I'm like, why are you walking like that? Yeah, I've got my bra on today.
Like Maisie calls them booby tops. She's like, I want a booby top.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not getting a booby top. You're not even supposed to know what the fucking boobies are.
Right. But it's a girly thing. Like, I just got it for her. And
she wants to be like mama.
Yeah, and that's why I got it. When I realized she just wanted to be like me. But her walk is so...
Yeah, that confidence, that swagger.
Even when she walked down the stairs, everything's in slow motion. She's like...
That's hilarious.
I'm so glad I have 2 boys because I hear these stories and I'm freaking out because I wouldn't know how to handle it.
The boys they're not easier, I promise you. My son is 18 and he drove me up the wall.
Yeah, but it's when they get old and the teenage boys are the rough part. Yeah. I know. I got a little bit of time before that. Hopefully, the dementia sets in. My wife just puts me in a home.
What was it like growing up a twin, though? To flip back to you being a kid.
Oh my God,
was that tough?
Growing up a twin.
Yeah,
he said hopefully dementia.
I
mean, we wish for these sort of
if I don't know any better,
and it is setting in.
I know.
Yeah.
It's cool. It was cool growing up as a twin. But it was we were really competitive, me and my sister, just because we were, and I'm 3 minutes older, so I've always had like that. Don't talk to me like that. I'm older than you, But, and in twin time, that's like 3 years, So
yeah.
But it was regular, If it was just me and her, or me and like 1 or 2 other siblings, I think we would have had it'd be different. But it's 8.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So it's like. It's 5 girls and 3 boys. It didn't even feel like we were twins most of the time, because it was just so many of us.
It takes a lot of heat off you when you got so many other kids running around.
So many of us.
Does she have like a normal career that nothing to do with entertainment or comedy?
She's pretty regular.
Okay. I always find that interesting.
Did you hear that, Tamika? You're regular.
Well, I caught that. I'm like, ew.
No, but she loves it though. She loves her life. She just loves, she loves it. She's really proud of me, and she's always like, I can't believe you do stand up. Like I'm at work or I'm in my neighborhood and everybody knows who you are. Like, she said it's the weirdest thing in the world, but
Well, I mean, some of the competitions you've been on for comedy have been some of the biggest shows you could ever find.
Yeah.
And the Next Level deal with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, that was unbelievable.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
I mean, I watched all of that. That was great. And then seeing you on Bring the Funny.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. That was probably one of my favorite.
And to go to the finals, right?
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Like,
top 2.
Yeah.
Top 2 out of 40.
That's huge.
How do those competitions affect your career as far as like when you place that high and like, do you immediately get calls? Does your agent get calls? Like, I always wonder how that works. Business-wise.
It's one of those things where you didn't win, but you won.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been really good. You know, because the people that won is it's just like a sketch comedy group.
Yeah.
And then there's the stand-up, you know, and it's like, you know, people's stand-ups, you know, we're sought after, you know, especially female stand-ups. But it's working out really well. I've gotten a lot of calls, a lot of auditions, a lot of talk of specials and things like that. So it's working out well.
You had one of the sorry, I don't want to step on you. I was going to say you had one of the best answers to a question, and I think you and I were both watching the same interview.
Yeah.
And I think it was done at the Laugh Factory, and they were talking about chocolate sundaes, and then they asked you. They said, you know, who are some of your favorite comedians, like,
right.
and then female comedians, and you said, well, you know, I don't really have any anymore because some of the ones that were, and then I've met them, have maybe not treated me so kindly.
They haven't.
And I was like, what a fucking honest answer.
Yeah.
That's such a perfect answer because it's like, because I'm affected by that more than Tom. Like Tom's can at times be an emotionless robot, and then I'm the weepy over emotional robot.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's why it works out well,
perfectly.
But yeah, if I go to meet somebody, sometimes it makes me not want to meet
right and
people that inspire me or
right.
You know,
it's nothing worse than being. That's why when people want to talk to me, or because sometimes we don't see ourselves the way other people see us.
Yeah.
You know, so even after shows, when I'm like doing shows, people come up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, you made me so happy. I loved you. I'm bringing the funny. Oh my God, I love you. Can I bet you with you? Oh my God." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But also, shit, you're here for me.
Yeah.
You know, and some people just don't see it as that. So I've met some female comics that I really loved growing up and I really enjoyed. And now that I do stand up, I'm just so excited to meet them. And then when I meet them, they're such bitches.
Yeah.
And really?
And you kind of went, you dug a little deeper in saying, like, namely, like, female comics, like, hey, help me out. Or African-American female comics, like, hey, help me out.
No,
like, just
you got to do it
guide me.
yourself, you know.
And
I'm not
like,
asking you to put me on, but tell me something that you think that I need to know at this stage in the game so that I don't have to deal with. This is a male-dominated industry, and it gets really nasty sometimes.
And the girls don't do, like, I think this was your quote. You said the girls don't do, like, what Kevin has done, like Kevin Hart has done.
Yeah.
Like, where he pulls everybody up.
But, you know, now that I'm, you know, in a different space, I'm not going to say I understand they're just being bitches. I don't understand that part. But I understand, like, I had a female comic tell me, a big name female comic, she said, you know, I wanted you to open up with me. I wanted you to tour with me, but you can't because you're too funny. And that will affect my stage presence.
Yeah.
Or we have too much in common to be on the same show together.
Gotcha.
So now that I'm hearing that, and now that I'm doing my own tour and I'm headlining my own tour, just I want to bring female comics on the road with me, but I have to be mindful of what they say on stage versus what I say on stage so that we don't clash. So there's a huge dynamic that goes into it, but I'm still not a bitch about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to say anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, they were just like, is she funny? Yeah. Is she pretty? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
I know you agree with me. We can't help being pretty.
Right.
That's just going to happen. That's just genetics.
Right. It was just insane. So but it's one of those things you learn, you know, you watch people and you learn from them and you just learn what not to do.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's ever gotten any better by not helping people.
Right.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about you still do something pretty interesting, and I find it like it's crazy that you're so busy, but you still have time to actually, you know, donate your time as being a life skills coach for inmates.
So I wasn't donating my time. I was really working there.
Yeah.
I was teaching.
Really?
I was a full teacher.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in about a year, but I was there for 5 years as a teacher with the sheriff's department, and I used to teach in the jails, teaching life skills. So I used to teach substance, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, parenting, anger management, like all the skills that we need to, you know, hopefully get these guys back on the street and allow them to stay there. And it was a really difficult job. But it was one of the best jobs I've ever had because it was so necessary.
So,
who wants to go into a jail and be like, "Hey, angry motherfucker, let's talk about it"?
Yeah. Also, what did you do again? When you're sitting in a room of a bunch of people, I'm like, maybe not all of you are guilty, but everybody here has done some shit.
Right. But the difference between me and most teachers was I've done some shit. So it's like, I just connected with them better. And the men were not my problem. The women were my problem.
Really?
I taught women too. Those motherfuckers there, Jesus, they were the cattiest, pickiest. Oh, Miss, what you got today, Miss T? I'm like, chapstick. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, so you think you just gonna put on chapstick in front of us? I'm like, you guys have fucking chapstick in here? Like, what the fuck? Miss T, what kind of eyeliner is that? I'm like, I don't have on eyeliner. What kind of socks do you have? Like everything that I wore. Let me see your nails. Like every week, I had to do my nails every week because they would live vicariously through me.
Well, because they didn't have access to
Miss T, it's Monday, and you have on the same nail polish, and I'm like, yeah, it hasn't been 2 weeks yet. Oh, you can't do that. We needed what new colors are out? We need new colors. We need new colors. So I would go do my nails and come in, and for like 20 minutes, I would walk around and show all the women my nails. Oh my god, when I get out, oh my god, that's the color I'm getting right there. That's when I get out. That's the color, and I'd be like, what the fuck?
So that was harder, the lady, because my mom
women were cattier. Yeah. It was, what did you do with your kids? And I would say what I did with my kids, and somebody would be like, oh, that's cool, but somebody else would be like, so we don't give a fuck, like the attitude, because they miss their kids, and so the women were just, they're women. It was just a little more cattier. The guys were more stalkish, like they would just sit in the classroom and just.
Creepy. Yeah.
But that's just like,
oh, she's looking at me.
I feel like that's like ultimate heckler, like training.
It is. It can be.
Because I feel like the amount of patience that you would need to pull off that job and do it correctly, because obviously you do care about these people.
Yeah, I do.
You are trying to help them.
They follow me all over social media.
Yeah, it's not a job that most people go like, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's something that you got to have a passion for, actually give a damn about these people.
Yeah.
But have these people ever maybe graduated next level, come out of jail, and then they show up?
Really? They show up at my show. They're probably my biggest supporters are
awesome.
the guys who were in jail, guys and women, and they support me on social media. They show up to shows, and it's always like, you remember me? And sometimes I'm like, no, me. Remember I was me. It's me. You don't remember me, Miss T?
It's funny, the loyalty there though is huge, because my mom's talked about. My mom was a juvenile probation officer, and she again echoed that the girls were harder. So you got that, but she also said, like, my baby bassinet, all my first baby clothes, everything, they had pooled their fucking canteen money and they bought that for my mom.
Oh,
like she still has that stuff. I don't know if that's good or bad that my bassinet that's in her attic was like bought with like jail money, but it's a fact.
They would make me things all the time.
They're loyal to you,
like
right?
they would, if my birthday came around, they would make a card or find something to make. They were so creative.
They want the connection.
But they had it because I'm from the South Bronx and the projects. Like I never looked at them as if they weren't human, because they were in jail. I would just say, I understand why you made that decision. I know exactly why you did that. Sure. And because I know and I understand, and I might have even done the same shit. Let's talk about how not to do it, because I know how you've done it. So it was a great job. I miss it sometime.
Tacarra, I have a parenting question for you.
Come on with it.
No, okay, because I like to learn.
This is the only reason we like having comedians in here that actually have kids, because we're like, please tell us what the fuck to do.
And so,
because we got nothing.
Well, I'm not perfect, but go for it.
Hey, well, you've got the unique experience now of having an 18-year-old and a 5-year-old, and now because how you raised your 18-year-old 18 years ago was in a different environment, obviously, and social media wasn't as prevalent. Even the internet, like smartphone, everybody didn't have a smartphone.
It wasn't a thing.
So I'm dealing with, as you could tell, this is how I parent my son. He's on his iPad right now, like literally lost, and I'd be like, hey, like he's zoned out.
He's the real lawnmower man right now.
No, I don't give him that.
He's inside the iPad.
It's not iPad day, but for this scenario, it's easier.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
But so how? What's your opinion on?
My 5-year-old doesn't have an iPad.
Okay.
She doesn't have. She has a Kindle. Every now and then she's on it, but it's to the point where there's only games on there that I allow for her to be able to play. There's nothing that she's like, I want to download this game. It's all educational stuff, and she still isn't really on it as much. But I don't see anything wrong with iPads and stuff. I just feel like it depends on what's on the iPad. Like, that's all.
How will you teach your 5-year-old about the world and social media and the internet that differs how you taught your 18-year-old? Because we just didn't know as much about it.
We didn't have. So we were still doing the digital. When you call it, online, you have to wait for it to go beep 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 beep.
Yeah. My mom says you got to take away my beeper.
Right. So I didn't have to teach him that.
But even your 18-year-old is probably a teenager, right? Or when things were blowing up with social media and smartphones.
Right.
So when that was happening, because there was a time and where we all didn't know what social media really was, and we were all learning as a world together. So I imagine parents that had teenagers during this time it was the most difficult because there was no one told us anything.
It was, and it was just because I didn't know about it. So I'm trying to figure social media out, and here he's got it figured out.
Of course,
which blew my mind. He would teach me things, and Ma, why's your page like this? And I'm like, well, because that's the way it is. And he's like, no, and I'm like, oh, how did you know how to do that? Oh, because I have a. You have a page? No, you're about to say you have one, but I don't. But you did say it. I have one, but I don't have one because I'm not really on there. But you're on there enough to know how to do this. So it was just a long conversation about social media.
That got real mom for a second. I can feel that. I got hot.
It was just a conversation about social media and the importance of it and what it's supposed to be for versus what you use it for, and just be mindful of what you say and what you post. And it's a reflection of who you are on social media. And he's like, "But is yours a reflection of who you are? Because you're in entertainment." And I said, hell fucking yes, it is. It's a replica of unfortunately, of who I am. And, my 18-year-old is not the problem on social media. My 14-year-old is the problem on social media. The girl is the problem on social media.
Girls can be vicious on social media.
With her friends, and they want to do all this TikTok crap. My daughter did a video on TikTok, and I didn't even know it was up there. She put it on her Instagram. I didn't even know she had a fucking Instagram. Wow. And she did this little thing at the end of the video, and she lifted her shirt up a little bit and saw some skin. And somebody sent it to me, and I just walked in the house and stared at her, and she's like, what? I'm like, I said, are you on social media? And she goes, no.
Oh, no.
That's something my mom did. Once you take that deep breath, that means we're going to try this again.
Yeah.
I said, do you have a social media? She goes, yes. Give it to me. So she goes, Ma, I said, give it to me now before I take the whole phone. So she shows me her social media, and I just skimmed through it. And as I'm skimming through it, she's just standing next to me. She's shaking. I'm like, why are you shaking? She's like, I'm not shaking. I was like, what's on here? She was like, nothing. It's just me and my friends. We just hang out we just Instagram. It's nothing. And I'm like, okay, so calm down. And then I find the video. I'm like, why are you showing skin in this video? And she's like, I was just dancing. I was like, where'd you even get that shirt from? I didn't buy you that shirt. Whose fucking shirt is this? It's girls. I'm telling you.
The way you recount these stories, I swear to God, it's affecting me. I feel like I did something wrong.
And I'm just like, listen, you can have the Instagram. I'm not going to tell you that you can't have it because you're gonna get the shit anyway. Yeah. That's what kids do.
But there's guidelines. There's boundaries. Yeah.
I don't want to see skin on here.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody in your DMs. I don't want you attempting to meet up with anybody. This world is dangerous. I'm going to trust that you know how to use this. If somebody texts you or DMs you and it's inappropriate, you tell me. If I see skin again, I'm going to make it disappear.
Yeah.
She's like, my skin. I said, from wherever piece I see, it's going to be gone. If I see this whole skin, gone.
Belly gone. Bye-bye.
Let me ask you this. So I was talking to my wife the other day.
Now,
yeah.
Man.
Okay, Dan, tell me what you think. So
I got to recover, man, because that felt real.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I need to hear this because I know I'm going to be be doing that. I know I am. And I'm the heavy.
I know.
My wife, she, even last night, there were some things because I figured out little hacks. We're at the Mexican restaurant and there's different sauces and Maisie's putting her chip in different things. She likes salsa and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I have learned that she only likes it when you label it. If you just leave everything alone and just let her be her, she ain't going to complain about nothing.
Right.
So she dipped her chip into something that was is nothing bad, just a little spicy. And then she goes to eat it. She eats it. And my wife's like, oh, that was jalapeno. I'm like, don't fucking say that.
Yeah.
Just let her eat it. It's fine if she
She's
eats
gonna
it.
remember
When you
not to
label
touch
it,
that one.
you babied her, and now she's going, and sure enough, I'm like, come on, man, you fucked it all up.
She's 4?
Yeah, she's 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be bad.
So I had this theory, and tell me if you guys agree. So my wife we were talking, and she was looking at the kids, their windows in their bedroom, and they're like, oh, she's like, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make sure they can't get out of here.
well,
They'll
like,
be
nail 'em
sneaking
down.
out or whatever. And then I'm like, well, think about that. I was like, I don't know if in the future kids are going to be sneaking, like physically sneaking out of their bedroom.
They're going to walk out the door.
Well,
I'll levitate out of the ceiling.
Well, I'm like, they have the internet. I feel like they'll be virtually like sneaking out. You know what I'm saying?
Just like they put their VRs on.
Yeah, or something like that.
Well, I'm okay with that as long as you're in your bed.
But that's the thing. I'm like, they'll be like getting away from their environment virtually now because everybody is on the internet and social media. Like that's how they'll be going to groups and like video chatting other people and like because that's easier than opening their window and taking the chance like we had to do. And then my wife's like, no, they'll still do
unless
what
they're
we
hipster kids.
Kids nowadays, their fear is different. Not fear, it's just different now, you know. They're not gonna climb out the window. They're gonna walk out the fucking door, like, and you're gonna be asleep, or they're just not gonna come home. Like that's just kids, you know. And it's unfortunate that kids do things like that. But one of the important things that I learned having this 18-year-old kid is, I don't tell him no. I just tell him not yet.
Okay.
I don't say no. I say not yet. When you hear, as a kid, when I heard no, it just made me want to do it more. And I'm like, no, why?
Yeah.
I want to see if that really happened.
Yeah.
You know?
It almost tempts. It almost dares you to do it. Yeah.
So now I just say not yet, or I tell him. I mean, you could do that if you want, but you know, everything has a consequence. You know, or I just get them to be comfortable enough to talk to you about everything, even the difficult stuff.
Yeah.
Like I had a really uncomfortable conversation with my son a couple of days ago.
I hate uncomfortable.
But it was a necessary conversation, and I'm glad he was okay talking to me about it. So that's the only thing I can say, because kids are going to do what they want. Like realistically, as parents, you cannot, and you have small children, we can't stop them. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do. They're going to venture out and do what they want. And some people are like, you got to install the fear in them. I don't want my kid to be afraid of me. I want them to talk to me, but I also have to understand that they're going to try shit. We tried shit. I can't stand parents who are like, I can't believe my son is doing this and that. I'm like, you did it too. Shut up. You put your parents do the same shit. It was a process for you. My son asked me, could he stay out late? He's like, I'm 18 now. Can I have a late curfew? I'm like, well, what time is late? He's like, 2. I was like, you want to stay out to 2:00 in the fucking morning at 18? He's like, yeah. I said, fucking do it. One time. Every day, 10 o'clock, he's in the house. You know why? Because nobody else is hanging out till 2 a.m. But I told him, sure, if you want to do it 2 a.m., hang out, do it. You know, you're 18, you got the keys, come in, lock the doors, do whatever you need. He doesn't do it.
Yeah. With so many, with your, growing up the way you did with so many different brothers and sisters, did you have more independence? Like, obviously, like, did your parents kind of like, well,
no, at the beginning, hell no. My parents were, once that guy got shot in the back and showed up at our door, absolutely not. My parents, I didn't play in the projects for at least 4 years when I first moved there. My parents made sure that every time we just lived there. Every day it was get up, go to school, come from school. If we did any extracurricular activities, it was everybody. My dad had this huge green van. We called her Susie Q. And we would just get in this van and go. We were not allowed to play outside in the projects.
Because it was so dangerous. Wow. Yeah. So they made sure. Okay.
All the other kids were having a ball. You know, they would shoot at 1. Everybody would run at 1. And at 1:30, everybody's back in the park living life. And my parents were like, no. And then when they started going through like a divorce, they just became a little more lenient with us. And we started moving around a little bit more and doing a little more stuff, getting into stuff. And, but I mean, they were tight growing up. My parents were very, very strict growing up.
And do you think that that helped you? Definitely.
I think it did help me. It was a little structure, and then I became a teenager, and then I kind of was like, I know everything.
Oh yeah. It's normal.
That's inevitable.
And then I was like, I know nothing.
Do you live in LA now?
I do. I don't live in LA, but I live in California.
California, yeah. The man, everything's so crazy expensive there.
It's not. No. Okay. To me, it's not.
Well, teach us, because man, when we go out there, we come back. I'm like, God.
But I think that it's
crazy.
But I think that is because where we are, like, I'm from New York. And I'm leaving one big city to go to another big city. So for me, there's no difference in finances. Everybody's like, the rent is more, the mortgage is more. And I'm like, no, it's the exact same, but I'm coming from New York.
Right.
If you're coming from Atlanta or Florida or Virginia or something like that, then you're going to notice the difference. But I'm not coming from, there's like, a one bedroom, a 3-bedroom is $2,000 or $2,600. And I'm like, that's the same it costs in New York, Only difference is I think you get more in LA.
Really?
You get parking. You get a pool. You get laundry.
Sure, you get some stuff.
In New York, I had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and I had to park 4 blocks away, and then I had to pay $300 a month just to park my car 4 blocks away, and then the laundry, I had to walk down 5 flights of stairs just to get to the laundry. So I think it's the same, but you get, to me, you get more in LA than, it's expensive. But it's the same as New York.
Do you like it? Which you like better, New York or LA?
I like California better.
Yeah, the weather, it's pretty phenomenal.
The weather, the people, the fact that almost anywhere you go, you get a view of the mountains.
It's beautiful for sure.
It is beautiful. Yeah. I love the landscape. I like LA. I'm sorry, New York.
That's all right.
But,
the
Belize to New York to LA.
But it's either you love it or you don't. That's how LA is. It's either you really, really, really love it or you can't stand it. There is no...
I've never met somebody who's like, it's all right.
It's either you really love it or you don't. Yeah.
Do you go back to Belize at all?
Where's vacation for you?
Like, God.
If you're turning off the brain, where are you going?
Oh my God! If I'm turning off the brain, I'm going to St. Martin.
Oh, okay, that's a good choice.
I love St. Martin. Anything islandy. St. Martin, Belize. I'm planning a trip with my family to Honduras. Honduras.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
Anything Central American, anything islandy, is a go for me.
Yeah, 100%. I guess last question. We talked to a lot of stand-ups about just the it's so easy nowadays to get content out because there's so much content providers.
You're your own television station.
Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, you could either self-release, but there's so many different platforms now, and it's flooding the market with so many different specials. I mean, think about I forgot who we were talking to. Maybe it's Sinbad or someone about 20 years ago, it was like HBO, Showtime, like, Comedy Central started when they come on the scene, like releasing specials. And now it's like, oh, if you want to watch a comedy special, I mean, take your pick. How many do you have to choose from? Hundreds?
I think there were 3 like big ones that just came out like this past week.
Yeah. Like when 3 a week on that one platform, it's like, so is that a good thing or is it too much? Is there opportunity now just to get your stuff out, which is a good thing, or is there way too much and it's diluting the market?
Do you mean you said for social media?
Oh no, for like getting comedy specials out, like because it seems like
I feel like it's diluting it. I genuinely feel like that. It's just too much. No one gets the recognition that they really and truly deserve because it's so much happening at one time. And, our brains can't grasp everything. 37 specials in August. 37 comedy specials came out, and 37 in August.
Is that a true right number?
It's I think it is. It's like closer to 4. It's like 40 something.
I wonder if we're even counting all the independent ones that we may not even know about.
That come out a month. So how does that one person get their?
It doesn't seem special anymore.
It's not a special. It's just a comedy. It's just it's a comedy half hour. It's not a Comedy Central special anymore. There's nothing special about it when you're giving it to everyone. There's people who have specials who you never, ever, ever, who aren't on tour, who don't do anything. They just have a special and they, and it's, I don't know, for me as a comic, I want my due, I want my name up on all the billboards. I want you to drive past the highway and be like, that's Tacarra. But you can't do that for 40 something people.
Yeah. It used to be where you got your break. And then when you got your break, at least you got your moment in the sun. You know what I'm saying?
There is no moment in the sun is what I'm saying. And if it is a moment in the sun, very random, very rarely do I see a stand-up special being promoted hard and heavy for someone. Very rarely. It's just like, hey guys, I'm taping my special. Hey guys, I got a special on Netflix. Check it out. What?
Yeah, it's different. It's way different.
I don't want that for me. That's why I'm just like, and I've had offers after the NBC show of, just an hour special, and I wanted to be special. I wanted to make sense. I want to get the notoriety that I feel like I deserve for that special. And I don't want it to just be like, hey guys, I'm having a live tape in at, AMC Theater if you guys want to come out. And then 2 months later, hey guys, I taped my hour special for Netflix. You guys should come on and watch it on Netflix at some point in time when you're scrolling. I want it to be on billboards. I want it to be, I just want,
it's like shooting off your best firework and everybody's inside. You know what I mean? It's like nobody saw it.
Sometimes I heard something out there. I think something exploded up in the sky. And you open up the window, you just see the little smoke trail coming down, but you missed the sparkles.
You missed it.
I want you to see the sparkles, and I would rather just wait until I know that the sparkles are going to matter.
I can understand that. Yeah, for sure.
What moves the needle? I'm sorry, last question. What?
The last
I'm sorry, but I mean,
she's tired, man.
No, I'm not.
And her breakfast took too long.
And what? I'm sure you talk to other comedians, and what moves them? Is speaking of, there's so much out there, and there's so much content out there. There's so many interview shows out there. Is there one that people talk about? They're like, oh, if you go on this show or if you do this, it moves the needle in your career. Like a lot of people hear it.
Right. Primetime television.
Okay.
That's the go-to. I did NBC.
Yeah.
And I went all the way to the end on NBC, and that.
The most people are still watching that.
Yeah, my crowd is so diverse, which I love now. And I reached states that I didn't even know. I went to Great Falls, Montana last weekend.
Nice.
Really?
Fuck is Great Falls, Montana?
Did you know to specifically target that area?
12 degrees.
Oh, come on, man.
I got off the airplane and I was walking through the thing and I was like, ooh. What is that? And somebody was like, oh, that's just fucking cold. That's fucking cold.
Yeah, it's different than real cold.
It's only October. That's cold.
Yeah.
The lake had ice on it. I mean, it's snow on the ground. And I didn't target that. But NBC, they watch NBC. So they just reached out to my agent and said, hey, we have this women's, weekend we're doing. We want Tacarra to headline.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I get there. It's 1,000 women. Fucking wine that was like sponsored by this wine. Fucking drunk. Like,
1,000 wine drunk.
They stumble into the bathroom. They're opening my green room door like it's the bathroom. Hey, we love you on NBC. Bring the funny. That's awesome. I'm like, thank you. What do you need something? Yeah. The fucking bathroom. I'm like, this is not the bathroom. Is there a bathroom in here? I'm like, there is a bathroom in here, but it's my bathroom. Can I use your bathroom, superstar? And I'm like, fuck, just use the bathroom. And we had the best time.
Oh, I bet.
We had so much fun. But I would have never thought that Great Falls, Montana would want to see me.
Yeah.
It's like a small stadium full of fucking just drunk women.
Did it blow your mind? You're like, these people know me in Montana.
Yes,
it's crazy. That's weird.
They were so excited to see me when they called my name on stage. They like stood up and it was like a roaring applause.
That's awesome.
Of women yelling, yes, you should have fucking won. Like they were so angry that I didn't win.
It's loyalty. You know what?
But I loved it.
I think a lot of us. I mean, Orlando's not a big city by any means, but not all. But anybody, I think everybody in the city forgets. Like there's these pockets. I mean, all the United States, there are tons of people that are still watching like NBC and shit.
Are.
And we're thinking like, no one has cable anymore. It's like the whole middle of the country does.
Yes. And those are the places I go where all through my set,
fun,
I'm doing I did an hour and like 15 minutes randomly through the set, no matter what joke I did. You should have fucking won. Like they just kept yelling it at the top of their lungs. And then I had to say, I did win. How? Because you're here.
Yeah.
You would have known nothing about me if I didn't do the show. And I did the show. And you guys love me enough to spend, what was it, $45 a ticket?
Yeah.
And you guys are here to see me. So I won.
Yeah.
Well, in a lot of ways, and I don't know if this is true for you, I wouldn't want to speak on it, but in a lot of ways, sometimes when you don't win, you're less locked.
Yeah.
And when you do win, you're locked.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it's better to own a little bit more Tacarra than it is to. Right? Is that?
That's exactly what's happening.
Okay, I'm accurate it then.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I was going to say, when I went back and I watched your anybody. By the way, you can find that clip online. I urge all of our listeners to check it out. You'll love it. But I watched it, and then I watched the announcement. You didn't win, and I'm like, that's better.
Yeah.
Because we've talked to other people that, whether it's American Idol, whether it's any of these type of shows where you're really, trying to do it, sometimes you can get in there a little further than you wanted to.
Yeah, when you 100%. Didn't win, yeah. It was fun, though.
Oh, Tacarra, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. You're so awesome.
Me.
We appreciate the time.
Stop. You guys are so bad.
We'll see you guys on the Friday Free Show. And don't forget, all weekend long, 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, 1 on Sunday, 407-480-5233 or theimprovorlando.com.
And plug your social media.
Yeah, and make sure that everybody follows me on social media. All social media platforms, Tacarra, Tacarra, Williams, or Tacarra, Tacarra, comedy on all social media platforms. Follow me on social media. I will definitely bring the funny to your city, and just show up.
Yeah, and shoot her a message because
and DM me because I'm single. I don't have anybody.
All right. Hey,
bring it on. And
but like our guys, they're active. Like they've been bothering Linnell to death. So
Linnell,
they love.
Well, come on in.
She loves us, so
come in. Hey!
I don't know why.
Let me check my DMs now. Let me see if anybody's in here.
One of us will be married to Linnell before the end of our career. So, all right, guys, we'll see you on the Friday Free Show.
All right.